Last episode, we went over the basic punches. Today, we're going to do some basic defenses. Right here, he's already done most of the stuff. But after we do the basic stuff like the evaluation line and the things we did in episode 1, what he'll do is shadow box. So we always going to start out with jumping rope and shadow boxing after some of the dynamic stretches we do. So shadow boxing again. So every time we shadow box, we're going to focus on certain things. When you're a real bottom beginner, you want to work on just basic technique and you don't have to imagine as much. Fabian is not a beginner like that, so he can imagine an opponent in front of him. So Fabian right now is going to focus on defense when he's shadow boxing. Just like in preparation for a fight, you're going to focus on specific things every day or a specific opponent, but since we're doing defense today, he's going to focus on basic defenses against somebody of the same stance. If you notice, Fabian's a lefty. I want him defending against another lefty because opposite stances is a whole new episode that maybe we'll have to do down the line. The first defense we're going to learn in boxing is passive guard defense, and that's just having your hands in one place, already in defensive position on the head. So basically, if somebody's punching at him, he doesn't have to do much to defend himself. His hands are already in position to punch. Now, unlike what people see in movies, you may think that you go out to block punches, but really you go home to block punches. You go on the block, as we call it, where his knuckles go on his head, and that's how he would take impact. So I'll demonstrate a little bit, Fabian, on the block. So if he just gets on the block, he doesn't have to do anything. He just puts his hands on his head, and bing, 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 and that's how we block punches. That's the passive guard. Everybody should be able to do this first before we start slipping punches, which is dodging straight punches, weaving punches, which is going under hooking punches. We need to be able to be on the block first. So Fabian right now, he's in, I'll stand as a lefty too. So he's in the passive guard. He's just sitting on the block, as we call it, boom, boom. And I know it looks a little rough to you guys. It gets a lot rougher than that, but you get used to it. You start learning it, that's how you block a punch, and it's really not a big deal because Mike Tyson could hit him with a big hook like this, and he'll be safe, you know? You'll be safe at home too. You might break your hand or something like that, but it's better than breaking your face. Now, most people have a defensive guard, we call it the active guard, meaning the hands can be anywhere, not on his head. So they have to actively block. He has to actively defend himself. Even though his hands are up, that's an active guard. His hands have to go somewhere to block his head. So if he stayed like that, punches will still go around his gloves. Just stay like that. Don't even do anything. He'd still get hit, right? So he'd have to actively now come to his head when a punch comes. So if a punch, he'd come up, or he'd dodge a punch, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So he's in an active guard. So if somebody were here and they're throwing a punch, he has to actively block it. So they're either going to go up to his head, goes back to his head, which is he's actively going there. He's just not passively sitting there. However, we're going to go through each punch now and the specific defenses for each punch. I'll reiterate that we're both standing as lefties. A lefty fighting a righty is going to be completely different. So, but the concept of him standing as a lefty is going to be the same concept as most people at home standing as a righty. So he's in an active guard now. Now he's going to do certain things to block punches. So the first thing he's going to defend is the jab. So what he's going to do is he's going to take my right to his left, my left to his right. So it's my right jab, since I'm standing as a lefty with him. He's going to catch it with his left hand. Boom. He just puts it out right in front of his face. Bing, bing. That's it. He's just catching the jab. That's a very simple thing to do right now. So he's catching jabs, so that's what he does. Boom, my right hand, his left catch. Boom. Now, how he's going to block the two, he's in an active guard. He's just going to bring that hand up on his head, and he's not going to roll with it. He's not going to lean back with it. He's actually going to keep firm. maybe even lean forward a tiny bit to absorb the impact so he can come back with a counter punch. So I go, put the pillow on the head, like that. Eyes are always on the chest, on his opponent's chest. Why not the eyes? Because the eyes trick. Like, if he gets zoned into my eyes, I might trick him. I might look down, hit him down here, and he'll think, oh man, he does look where he punches. Then I look at his head, and he'll know that I'm punching his head. Then later on, I'll look down, and then come back up and hit him in the head. So also, we want to have our peripheral vision do most of the work. So if you're looking at the chest, or if you're looking at the eyes, your peripheral vision might miss the feet. We want to be able to see the whole body without looking at specific targets. So if he's fighting me, since I'm a little shorter than him, if he looks at my eyes, he's not going to lose sight of my feet. It might not be as big of a deal besides me tricking him if he's looking at my eyes. But if I'm a lot taller, if somebody's taller than you, you definitely don't want to look at your eyes. It's going to raise your chin up, and you're going to lose sight of the rest of his body. Okay, so we're just going to stare at one thing. We do not look at where we punch. So even when you're hitting heavy bags or working on other equipment, your eyes should just hover, and you're going to punch everywhere else. You're not looking at the places you're punching. All right, so we did the jab and the two. So he's blocking one, he blocks a two. Then he'll do the three the same way, but we don't want to turn too much. So if I throw a three, yeah, see how you turn though. We want to minimize that, okay? Because I know it feels really good to go like this so you can come out with a counter, but the problem is if I go like this and you turn, I can set you up for the two. So minimize that turn. As a lefty, you get away with it against a righty. But a lefty, another lefty, he'll go boom, and then try to set you up. You see how you turn? And they'll do that, right? So, all right, so now, hooks to the body now. What it's gonna be is if I throw a punch to the body, I have to load up in some way. So I'm gonna lean back down here. And what he does, in real life, if somebody leans to the side, you're either gonna make yourself smaller on that side, or you're gonna get out. Right now, we're not trying to get out. We're just gonna do a defense, not getting away. So I go down here, he makes himself small on that side, boom, blocks it. Same thing with a rear hook. Boom, boom, he's just gonna tilt in and his elbows are gonna take it. Jabs to the body. We have to be in shape in boxing. We have to be able to take punches to the body. That's not a big, we are gonna defend it, but a lot of times jabs to the body, they do get in. We just try to hit it with the elbow. So when I jab the body, he's going to try to get his elbow in. Boom, boom. But sometimes he's going to catch the body. It's not that big of a deal. All right, we have to be in shape. We have to be able to take punches to the body. We have the one, catching the one. We got blocking the two, boom. Blocking the three. Don't turn too much, remember? Blocking the three, boom. All right, then we have the rear hook. So here, boom, that's better. Bend and tilt. Once they load up on this side, if you know you're gonna stay in the pocket, you're gonna make yourself smaller. Okay? So in real life, if I'm coming at you and I go like this, you're either gonna make yourself small, waiting for the counter, and then you come back with maybe a right hook or something. Or if I'm coming in and I go like this, you get out. You get out. And just jab out or something. You know what I mean? All right? At all times, one punch has to be loaded. Usually it's my rear side that's loaded. Now if I have to go over here, now this is empty, I just emptied this. I can't throw this that hard, but I can throw this hard, right? So anyway, a little tangent there. Slipping punches, that's gonna be dodging straight punches. So you're not, you have to actively do that, obviously. You're moving your head out of the way. And this is where people talk about moving your head. This is slipping straight punches. So he's either gonna go to the left, right, or he could duck a little bit too if the punch is high. So you go ahead, yeah. So he's moving over. Subtle little movements. There's no reason to roll on a slip. A roll and a slip are two separate things. So we're just gonna slip. No, see that? You did shoulders.
Shoulders, yeah.
No shoulder turn on the fourth spot.
It's just it's like a
bow, just bow. All right. Since you're so square,
yeah.
You're just gonna tilt over this way. Bang. More like that. See, no shoulder turn. With a little bend your knees. You would do it with a step, usually. Because look, if I'm fighting you, if I'm fighting you, look at this. And you want to hit me with a left hand. If I go like this, I'm gonna get hit. But look, if I do this, if I go like this, you're probably gonna miss. And if I do this, you know, I can step out in the 4th spot, step in with the 4th spot, right? But good habit is to step with the 4th spot, okay? But right now we're just slipping basic punches. So if he's slipping a jab, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say, first he's gonna dodge jab. So he goes to the outside of my jab, so on my elbow side, and he'll go to the inside of my jab, okay? Same concept with all the straight punches. If I throw a 2, he'll go to the inside of, or outside, we can find outside of my 2, or inside of my 2. The inside 2 is a little bit more dangerous, because if I loop the punch, I might be able to catch him. So that's why we want to take steps, but that's getting too advanced. So basic movement right there, slipping punches. Now, hooking punches are gonna be him ducking. We're not gonna make it too complicated, so he's just gonna duck. So at least you just duck, and in ducking and boxing, we don't wanna stick our butts out too much. We wanna go straight down, and it's just a little bit. So I'm aiming right for his face. It's not that much of a duck. Boom. Even if it goes over the top, it's okay. Boom. You should go to the passive on the blocks too. I mean, go to the block on weaves also. Okay. So if you because it's insurance. So if you go under and I go a little low, no, you want to get your hands up. So if you're in the active guard, which you're mostly in the active guard, if you go to weave, get the hands up. No.
Oh, so
go into like a turtle shell. So you can start out active. I close in, I throw a hook. Yeah, exactly. Passive. Don't get on the back leg. Okay. I just stay in. No. All right, let's just do 10 spot. Don't weave. You're doing weave again. Okay. Just do 10 spot. But at least go on the block. Yeah, that's how we want to do it. That's exactly what we want to do. Bing, bing, just straight down. Bing, bing. That's really what we want to do right there. Okay. His insurance of getting his hands on his head, and he's getting out of the way of the punch. Fun with it. So if I throw, you're gonna actively block, come back, 3, 2, 3. Maybe they want to see that. If you block this, oh shoot.
No, you good.
Boom, 2, 3, 2. Because now we're both lefties, right?
Yeah.
There's no active front. Now I throw the jab, catch, bing, 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 right?
Ah, okay.
Right? It's a little live. Now I go block, pop. Oh, you see me loaded.
Oh,
6, 3, 2,
okay.
3. 6, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. So now, it's all good. 2, 3, 2. Now get that right hand. Got to come up, man. Okay. Got to come up. Because now my power hand is not just a hook. Now it's coming from here. Bing. So if we go, bing, bing, bing. 2, 3, 2. It's really like just go through it lightly. We go like mimicking like what he's gonna do in a fight, and it's up to me to help him mimic that the best way possible. 3, 2, 3. Unless I call a different block, I could call different blocks too. So I might say block 2. So if I say block 2 though, I'm just saying if I go like this, if I say block 2, well, why is this down? Pick that up. Boom. 2. I said 2. Block 2. 3, 2, and then you follow with the 3, 2. So block 2. You have a habit of turning on the block 3. You're doing that open on this 3. Say you're turning.
Oh,
just put the pillows on your head. And now if I throw a big, you're just gonna do a semi-squat. Now put the hands on the block. Go on the block. You're already in position to block the hook. You don't gotta do much. Now semi-squat. That's it, yo. Boom. That's it. There's no reason to to do that. I know the turn feels so nice because it feels like you're real protected. You come back with a shot.
Yeah, no.
But it's a bad habit, man.
Okay, I hear you.
All habits are bad habits unless we make them moves.
Okay.
You know, like you know, if it's not a fundamental thing, and you do it all the time, it's a bad habit. Okay. All right. So, boom. That's better. 2, 3, 2, 3. 3. If I go here, bump. 2, 2. I go here. Bump. No. Tilt. Bend and tilt. Bing. 6, 3, 2, 3. If I go here, bing. Tilt. Bop. 5, 3, 2, 3. 3. Now I can change it up. I'll say. Now let's go slip. Slip 2, 3, 2. Slip. Bop. 2, 2. Slip to the outside. Come back 3, 2, 3. Slip to the 3 spot. Bing. 3. Now slip to the 3 spot again. 3 spot.
Sorry, 3 spot.
Wait for me. Bop. Now if I say a different punch, I'll say let's say block 2. Get this hand up. Block 2. Block 3. I didn't say nothing, right? So. Block 2. Nope, you did it again. My bad. It's. Yeah.
I'll finish with 3.
3. Yeah. It's 6-3-2-3. Let's go 2-5-2-3-2. Let's go 2-5-2-3-2. 2-5-2-3-2-3-3-2. That's a 25. Let's go. That's all right, yo. Defense is so important in boxing because when you're doing the proper defenses, you're going to get the proper offenses. All right? If you're just doing it for defense, we could just run away. Okay? So what we really want to do is put himself in the best position to come back with a punch. That's what the point of defense is. So the point of defense is to commit offense. Okay? Just like boxing, you know, it's a common saying. It's the art of hitting and not getting hit, and that is a layman way to put it, you know. But it's a little bit deeper than that, I believe. I think it's about not getting hit as hard as you are going to hit the person, and trying. There's so many factors. That's what I mean. It's not just not getting hit. All right. There are other factors to that, but when you're thinking about defense, you're putting yourself in the best position to commit offense. That is the goal to proper defense, because we could do a lot of proper defense just running away or just covering up, but if you can't hit the person back, there's no point in doing it. I think boxing improves every part of your life. I think when you do boxing, you find out who you are, you find things about yourself, because boxing puts you in a position, unlike any martial art, it puts you in a position where it's a small little finite space where you have to learn to operate in that finite space. And all respect to other arts like kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing is the most unnatural, which makes it much harder. And it's the most grueling, I believe, because when you're boxing, you have to beat somebody at their best game. All other martial arts goal is to get away from the other person's best game. I mean, if somebody's a boxer and he wants to stay on the outside and I want to get on the inside, that's the most I'm trying to get away from his game to do my game. But in other arts, if he's a really good boxer, I'll be, man, I got to wrestle him and take him down. So they tend to go away from the rigor of fighting in other martial arts. I respect them totally, but I think boxing is really the best. And in training, I believe it develops minds more than any other sport there is. I think boxing is the end-all, be-all best. That's how I feel. If you notice other martial arts, they don't reveal it like that, yo. They don't, man. I watch MMA. It just doesn't, because you don't have to. You don't have to reveal who you are. Boxing, no matter what, man. And even for kids, I'm gonna say this. Even for kids, boxing I think is the best, because it's the limited pieces that have so much depth to them that. I think it develops these kids' minds so much more than these other things. I don't know much about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with kids, but it's also, you know, it's not scary. You know, when kids feel that fear of having to, even just little drills of getting hit a little bit, it's different from wrestling, you know? I hope I'm not sending too many shots, but I'm just speaking honestly, you know?